Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Tuesday. And so this week, as promised, we're going to be doing a little bit simpler card today. And then on Friday, I will do a very similar card, but I'll step it up. So today we're going to be using Delightful Wishes bundle. This is found in my online exclusives, and I absolutely love this bundle. Because, you know, I'm a flower girl, so any kind of flower, just have to have it. And then also, I really like everyday arches. So these, this was kind of something I didn't think I needed, but when I started seeing some of the cards made with them, there are 10 arches, and they are nesting arches. So they, you don't have to use them as arches this way. You can use them this way. You can make tabs out of them. They're absolutely darling. So, and I'm going to be using those today. So I'm also going to be using some 12 by 12 specialty designer series paper that's sold in the annual catalog. This won't be carried over to next year's catalog. It is Wildflower Birthday, and it is specialty paper. And so I did cut the arch out of it, and get that out of there. And then the back, you can see why it's specialty paper. It's got that foil. Okay, but I'm going to be using this side, a little more subtle with the leaves. I really like soft sea foam. I really like soft sea foam. And I'm going to be using it today with pecan pie. They really pair well together. So I'm going to put this arch away so I don't lose it. If you're like me, I can misplace something in a heartbeat. Okay, let's get started today. Less chatting, more stamping. Okay, so let's push this back so we can, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to be using pecan pie as my card base. So this is 5.5 by 8.5. Just going to fold that in half. And then I'm going to be using a piece of the soft sea foam. See how good those look together? Ooh, I just love them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere these together. So this is 4 by 5.25, so that it layers nicely. And then I have that arch. And so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere that now. And you can see it has that little stitching around the edges. Makes it even cuter. All right. Now I did cut out of the Delightful Wishes dies. So there's 19 dies, and one of them is this branch. And so I did cut this out in advance. And I cut that out of the pecan pie. For some reason, I want to keep calling that safari pie. I don't know why. Don't even ask me where my brain's at when I do that. Okay, so I'm going to put a little glue on here using my silicone craft sheet so I don't get any glue on my glass. If you have a glass mat, it's awesome. Ink and everything just comes right, and they're available also on my online store. Comes right up, but glue likes to stick. Well, that's the whole point of glue, right? But when it's on my mat, I'm not thrilled. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this right here. Put my craft sheet over it so I can glue it down without getting glue on my fingers. All right, now, the next thing I'm going to do is stamp, and I'm going to stamp the flowers from Delightful Wishes. So this is a 2-step stamp, and the flowers are, some of them are connected and some of them are separate. So what I always do is when on a 2-step stamp, I'll put a little black dot here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, a little black dot with my Sharpie marker, and that's so I can line these up easily. Because really, if you look at them, sometimes they are easy to mess up. So I'm going to use Pretty in Pink ink. This ink is from the In Colors that will be carried over for another year. So we'll have 5 new In Colors starting in May. But these 5, like Pretty in Pink and Petunia Pop and Summer Splash, those colors will be carried over for another year. Okay, so on 2-step stamp, I like to do the detail first. So I'm inking that up. I'm just going to stamp that down. And the reason is because I know you're thinking, well, that's kind of weird, but it's easier for me to line it up. Okay, so the black dot was at the bottom, so I'm going to keep that on the other stamp also. I'm going to stamp this off once. Now, for me, it's easier to line this up, and I'm going to tell you why. You can see, for one thing, it's darker, and then you can see those lines. You see it lined up perfectly. So if you still have your Stamparatus, two-step stamping is really great on a Stamparatus, but if you don't have your Stamparatus, this works great. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this out with my die. I have my mini cut and emboss here, and the die is right here. So I'm just going to run this through my mini cut and emboss. So again, you want to use plates 1, 2, and then sandwich between 3s. So you want to use your clear plates on this and make sure that you make a sandwich, right? Always make a sandwich like this, putting your dies in between your plates. Otherwise, your dies will warp and they'll never be the same. All right, so we're just going to punch these out, and you're going to see what I mean when you punch them out. Some of them are separate, and some of them are together. Okay, now I am going to adhere these to my card. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. I'm going to start with this big one. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. A little bit right there. I'm just going to kind of put it down here in the branch. Right there. And then this one's next. Put this one up here. I did not cut that very good, but I think it'll be okay. Not my best die cutting job ever. One over here. This little guy, we'll put him on the branch right here. And then a little tiny flower kind of right here. Okay, they kind of look like, what is it in Washington, D.C.? Is it Apple Blossom Festival? Can't think. Is it Apple Blossom? Well, I don't know, but you probably know. Okay, so in advance, I did cut out a couple leaves, and I did stamp those. It's just a one-step stamp, so I stamped those in seafoam. So I'm going to add that right here. And then another one. And this one will be right here. Okay. And then I did stamp Happy Birthday. So Happy Birthday is also from Delightful Wishes. And I did omitting. So it does say, I don't know, the words say, wishing you a happy birthday, but I just stamped Happy Birthday. So I'm just going to trim this down and add this kind of right here. Okay. And then I think it needs a little something, so I have a little piece of Pretty in Pink ribbon. I'm just going to tie this in a knot, just like that. Trim this down just a smidge. And use a mini glue dot. And just kind of put that down here. Okay, now, because I did say that this is dark cardstock, you probably want to add a piece of cardstock inside. And because you really can't write on that unless you have a white pen. I don't have good luck with white pens. I don't know. I've bought so many of those white gel pens, and none of them, they just clog and clog. I cannot get them to work. I think I have like 4 of them, and none of them work. What am I doing wrong? So I have that on the inside. So there is our very cute, simple card today. It did take me a little time to do the flowers, but I just think it's adorable. Now on Friday, I'm going to step this up. I'm going to show you a technique to do, an extra technique to do with this. So I hope you'll watch on Friday. Thanks for watching today. My name's Trevis Bossler, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri. And have a great week. See you Friday. Bye.